Hi everybody, I have the keys to a 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 and I have 1 mile to give you my driving impressions. The 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 is the first GT car to be built off the 992 generation Porsche. The 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 is the first GT car to be built off the 992 generation 911. And it is the 7th version of the GT3. The first official one came out in the 996 generation Porsche 911. Its engine's roots are from the Porsche 911 GT3 Cup car, the race car, and was more recently used in the 2019 Porsche 911 Speedster, but was updated before being placed in this 2022 GT3 and now has 502 horsepower and 346 pound-feet of torque, but perhaps the best number of all, a 9,000 RPM redline. You get 20-inch wheels in front with massive brake rotors and 6 piston calipers clamping onto them, and 21-inch wheels in back, also with massive brake rotors and a 4-piston fixed caliper to clamp onto those. The swan neck rear wing is beautiful and adjustable. You can see the positions for it right here. Behind that wheel and holding it up is a brand new double wishbone front suspension, which also was derived from Porsche race cars. That replaces a strut front suspension from the other 911s. Standard transmission on the 2022 Porsche 911 GT3 is a 7-speed PDK, but this particular car has the no-cost option 6-speed manual transmission, and that is not a problem with me.
Be sure to log into your YouTube account, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss a video. Best of all, it's free to do so.
That is a nice sounding 4-liter flat 6, naturally aspirated of course, and gets a bit noisier than this, as you can imagine. Just sitting in this car, you can tell that you're in something special with this faux suede race text material around the steering wheel. You have a drive mode dial right on the steering wheel down here, and you've got normal, sport, and track driving modes. And unlike some cars, this is obviously very legitimate track driving modes, and you're sitting very low in the cockpit. So, you know, I feel very just hunkered down in this car. I've got a lot of headroom. In case you're curious, I'm 5'11" or 181 centimeters tall. And Porsche did a really good job. We have a really nice big windshield here. So despite being so low in the car, I still have really good views out in front of me, both immediately and farther ahead. Definitely a good first impression. Let's go ahead and get this mile going. Despite being such a serious engine, the clutch engagement is easy and the shifts themselves are quick. And we've got a corner coming up, so let's see how this handles. Wow. Oh man. Now that is impressive cornering, and it's not just the grip you have, and you have a lot, but the turn-in response is very, very good. Wow. Yeah, you can feel that you're pulling a lot of G's in this car, and man, this mile is not going to take long. So we have 502 horsepower. Horsepower peak comes at 8,400 RPM. We have 346 pound-feet of torque. That peak comes over 6,000 RPM, but when you have a 9,000 RPM redline, that really isn't bad. The 6-speed manual transmission is great, easy to shift quickly, feels good, nice big knob to hold on to, and just, yeah, lovely experience. Now, this is a very stiff ride. You feel the bumps, you know the bumps in this car, but it's not punishing. It's stiff, but it's not unnecessarily harsh. And these seats are actually very, very supportive, as you would expect in a GT3. So you've got deep upper bolsters and deep lower bolsters as well. So you very much feel in this seat, not on the seat, and that is a plus. So if I shift down, now I'm in 6th gear, the top gear, you know, the engine is definitely presenting itself. It's not quiet by any means, but it's toned down enough that it can kind of fade into the background if you just need to get somewhere. But because we have mega brakes, we should try those as well, real quick. Oh, good stopping power. Now, as I suspect that most of you know, this is not a straight line car. This is not meant for the drag race strip, but it's not slow either. I got a nice open piece of tarmac here. We'll do a quick full throttle acceleration. And part of it is seeing how quick it is, but part of it is also just hearing this thing. Oh, I'm gonna turn traction control off. Wow! Whoa, man! Now that is impressive acceleration from this car. And again, this is meant to accelerate down straightaways, not around dragways. So, wow, that's just immense. That's incredible performance from this car. So you have fantastic straight line speed, you have mega stopping power, and really good feel from the brake pedal as well. It's very linear buildup of stopping power and easy to feel and modulate. The steering is very quick, very precise, and that double wishbone front suspension. And it's not just the suspension geometry, it's the suspension components as well. A lot of the bushings have been replaced with ball joints, and that really helps speed up the reactions of every little bit of this car. So everything about this car is just sped up. It can just respond so quickly to your inputs and makes driving quickly such a delight and a bit addictive as well, if I'm honest. Oh man, time to rate this car. It's gonna do well, as you would imagine. First one, car shows, out of 10. You know, this is a stock Porsche. It's also a brand new Porsche, so it doesn't have history behind it, and it doesn't have pedigree and all those things that the top level cars at a car show you'd look for. Yeah, but it kind of does have pedigree in a sense, you know. The engine originated in the GT3 Cup car and was in the very limited edition Porsche Speedster, but then Porsche upgraded it from there. So it's very special. And this is the first GT3 to get a double wishbone front suspension and that beautiful swan neck rear wing back there. And it's so incredibly capable. It's also extremely lightweight, because it's got a lot of carbon fiber reinforced plastic, front hood, for example, and some other parts. It's got lightweight glass, so despite being bigger than previous GT3s, it's not much heavier, only 11 pounds heavier than the last generation Porsche, according to Porsche. Let's say an 8 at a car show because it's attention grabbing, especially in this Guards red paint, and it is definitely a special Porsche 911 indeed. As far as daily driving is concerned, that one's a bit tougher. This is an awfully stiff suspension, and that would get punishing over time. And, you know, fuel economy is not great in this. 14 in the city, 18 on the highway, 16 combined. In fact, when you're buying a 911 GT3, you are paying a gas guzzler tax when you purchase. So, you know, that would be a little bit painful at times. So you're probably better off in something else. I'll give it a 6 out of 10 because it's really not harsh. You could get used to it, but it is a bit noisy. The thin glass makes it loud, so I think 6 is about as generous as we can be. Now, road trip is a little bit more difficult because all the things about daily driving obviously carry over for a road trip as well, but it depends on where you're going. If you're on your way to some fantastic canyon roads, and that's a little bit of a distance, my God, it'll be worth it. And you do actually have heated seats, a lot of comfort with the infotainment system. You do have dual zone climate control, and these seats are very comfortable. So I'm actually gonna give it a 7 out of 10 for a road trip. Just be ready for your ears to be ringing a tiny little bit. Well, I hope you liked this video. I hope you enjoyed getting a little bit of a sense of this Porsche 911 GT3. And if you did enjoy this video, it would help us out if you liked it and also subscribe to the channel. That makes a big difference. Okay, thank you very much.